There's something about cleaning offices at night that messes with your head. Maybe it's the way everything looks the same after hours. No people, no chatter, just fluorescent lights humming and the soft squeak of your own shoes. Or maybe it's the quiet that listens back. I've been the night janitor at a high-rise in downtown Charleston for about 5 years now. The building's nothing fancy, 11 floors, mostly law offices and startups trying too hard with their decor. They give me the top half, floors 6 through 11. I go in around 10 p.m. and finish by sunrise. Just me, my cart, my music, and the occasional vending machine coffee. It was a good gig. Easy money, no micromanaging, and nobody breathing down my neck. Until I started noticing the elevator. It started maybe 6 months ago. I remember the first time because I had my earbuds in, sweeping one of the conference rooms on 9, and I heard the ding through the music. Checked my phone. 2:11 a.m. I figured it was nothing. Maybe someone stayed late and forgot to clock out. But when I peeked into the hall, the doors were open. No one inside, no one outside. Just that same sterile light spilling onto the carpet and the fan humming quietly above. Weird, but buildings do weird stuff. I shrugged it off, but it happened again the next night. 2:11. Ding. Doors open. No one inside. I started watching for it, and I'm not kidding, every single night for weeks, that elevator would open at exactly 2:11 a.m. on the 10th floor. Not 2:10 or 2:12, exactly 2:11. I asked the day staff if there was some kind of maintenance cycle. They said no, the elevators were manual, no timed routines, nothing programmed to run unless someone pushed a button. One guy joked that maybe the building had a ghost with a tight schedule. I laughed, kind of, but it started bugging me. I mean, I'm not superstitious, but I'm also not dumb. Elevators don't run themselves, and buildings don't play tricks. People do. So I thought, maybe it's just a glitch, or a short in the wiring. Maybe the button's stuck on some floor. Maybe I just need to prove to myself that it's nothing. So one night, I got an idea. At 2:05 a.m., I rolled my mop bucket into the hallway and parked it right in front of the elevator doors. If this was some weird automatic cycle, then when those doors opened, they'd hit the bucket. It'd be something solid, physical proof. I stood there, arms crossed, just waiting. Sure enough, 2:11. Ding. Doors opened and stopped just short of the bucket. Didn't hit it, didn't close. They just sat there, wide open, empty.
No fanfare, no noise.
Nothing moved. I stared for a good 2 minutes, then slowly walked over and looked inside. The panel was blank. No floors selected. No one inside. I leaned in and said, mostly to myself, that the gag was up. That this was just some bug and I was too tired to care. I left the bucket right where it was and went home. Next morning, I came in for my shift, checked the floors, emptied the trash, started on the windows. Everything was normal until I got to floor 10 again. The mop bucket, already in the closet, lid closed, neatly tucked beside the cleaning chemicals, exactly where I would have put it if I'd done it myself, which I hadn't. I froze. Stood there with my keys half out of the lock, just staring at that bucket like it had grown teeth. I tried convincing myself maybe I had put it away and forgot. Maybe I was just exhausted, or distracted, or losing it. That's what I told myself all night, until I opened the elevator. The mirror panel on the back, the one I'd stared into every night for years, had a smudge. A long, greasy smear, like someone had pressed their hand to the glass and slid it downward. Except I always cleaned that mirror before leaving. Every single night. That was the last straw. I stopped cleaning the 10th floor after that. Told the manager there was a pipe leak and asked to swap assignments. They said no problem. I didn't explain why. Didn't want to sound crazy. Didn't want to say that sometimes when I'm packing up my cart, I still hear it. That ding. At 2:11 a.m. Always 2:11. Even when I'm not on that floor. Even when the elevator isn't supposed to be moving at all. I don't care what anyone says. Someone rides that elevator. Same time every night. Never gets off. Never asks for anything. But it doesn't like being ignored. And every now and then, it leaves the doors open. People don't realize how creepy clothing stores are before they open. I mean, it's not meant to be creepy. It's just fluorescent lights half on. No music. Rows of blank-eyed mannequins staring out the windows like they're waiting for the world to start. I work as a visual merchandiser at a mid-sized retail chain downtown. We open at 10, but I usually get in by 7:30 to restock, fix displays, and redress the mannequins if there's a sale. Most days I actually like the quiet, no customers asking for sizes, no pop songs on loop. Just me, a clipboard, and the occasional whiff of fresh denim. But there was one morning last fall that still makes me sick to think about. It started normal enough. I unlocked the back door, disarmed the alarm, clocked in. I remember I had a half-eaten bagel in one hand and my water bottle in the other. I wasn't even fully awake yet, just going through the motions. And then I walked out onto the sales floor and paused. The front display window always has 4 mannequins. We rotate their outfits every 2 weeks, seasonal, color-coordinated, the usual corporate visual guidelines. They don't have faces exactly, just smooth features, indents where the eyes and lips go, kind of like that uncanny, blank expression you see in vintage photos. Only that morning, one of them was on display and it had a face. Not drawn on, not painted, just a face. Different than the others. More sculpted, sharper cheekbones, deeper eye sockets. Not cracked or damaged either, just unfamiliar. I remember blinking a few times, like I was trying to clear morning fog from my brain. I even walked up to the glass, real slow, like maybe I'd hallucinated it. Nope, still there, second from the left. His head was tilted just slightly to the side, as if it was listening. And the mouth, unlike the others, was just a little open. I thought maybe someone had swapped one overnight. Maybe another store sent us a new model or corporate was testing updated designs. But that didn't make sense. I was the one who closed the night before. And besides, we only had 4 mannequins. So I went to check. Our storage room in the back has a small section for visual props. Mannequin parts, backup torsos, extra arms and legs, that kind of thing. It's not a big area, but it's always been organized. I keep it that way. I flicked on the light, turned the corner, and froze. All 4 of our mannequins were standing right there, fully assembled, still dressed in the outfits I'd put on them yesterday. Same tags, same shoes, 4 of them, exactly where they should be. I felt a cold, metallic pulse in my chest. That weird gut snap you get when something breaks your understanding of the world, even for just a second. I backed out of the room, heart pounding in my ears, and walked straight back to the sales floor. And there it was, still in the window, the 5th one. Same pose, same expression, except now it was facing slightly more to the left, like it had shifted. I told myself it was a prank, some employee messing around, maybe hiding an old mannequin from another location. Maybe it was a leftover from Halloween or a damaged return that never got logged. But I still couldn't explain how it got there, or how it got fully dressed, or why its face felt almost alive, like someone I'd seen before, a stranger you lock eyes with for just a second on the subway. I called my manager, told her I thought someone had broken in and left something in the display. She sounded annoyed, said she'd check the cameras when she got in. That was fine with me. I wasn't staying alone with it. I went back to the office and waited. Didn't finish the floor setup. Didn't touch the mannequins. Just sat there, watching the security monitor like a hawk, half expecting it to walk off the display at any moment. When my manager finally arrived and pulled the footage, her face went pale. There was nothing on the cameras between closing and opening. No movement. No extra people, no mannequin added to the display. But here's the part that still haunts me. When we walked back out to look together, it was gone. The 5th mannequin, gone. Just 4 again. And when we checked the storage room, still just 4. Exactly where they'd been before. I even pulled each one out, checked the face, the serial numbers scratched onto the base plates. All matched inventory. We filed a report, checked with corporate, asked if anyone had dropped off promotional materials or test models. Nothing. No one knew anything about it. I stopped working the morning shifts after that. couldn't be in the store alone anymore. But sometimes, when I walk past the display windows before closing, I'll catch a glimpse of a shadow that seems a little too human, a face that's a little too real. And once, just once, I could have sworn one of them moved, just breathed, like it had been waiting, and maybe still is. If you're drawn to tales like these, consider subscribing to Spectral for more chilling entries waiting to be uncovered. And if you have your own haunting story that you'd like featured in an upcoming compilation, we'd love to hear it. Just email us at spectralentries@gmail.com. Now, let's get back to the video. There's something about office buildings after hours that feels wrong. It's not just the silence, it's the kind that listens back. The way every creak of your chair sounds like a scream. The way your heels echo off marble like you're not alone. I never used to mind it. In fact, I liked working late. No distractions, no Slack pings, no awkward elevator small talk. Just me, my spreadsheets, and a vending machine dinner. But after what happened that Thursday night, I don't stay late anymore. It was the week before quarterly reviews, and I was behind. Everyone else had cleared out by 6, even the cleaning crew. The whole floor was mine. I had a playlist going, a big bottle of lemon water, and I was deep in the kind of Excel trance where time folds in on itself. At some point around 9:45, I got up to stretch and walk a lap around the floor. I always did that when my eyes started to blur. The motion sensors had already dimmed half the lights, so the corridors had that weird amber glow from the exit signs. I padded down the hallway in sock feet, past cubicles and coffee stations, just letting my brain fog clear. That's when I passed conference room B. It's one of those big glass fishbowl rooms, wall-to-wall windows, sleek table, 12 chairs, untouched since Tuesday's strategy meeting. As I walked by, I caught my reflection in the glass, only it was off. At first, I couldn't put my finger on it, just a weird itch in my brain. I stopped, took a half step back, looked again. There I was, blurry in the dark glass, but my reflection didn't quite match. When I tilted my head, the reflection followed, but a beat too late, like it was lagging, like a video buffering on bad Wi-Fi. I stared. Maybe it was my eyes. Maybe I was more tired than I thought. I shook it off and kept walking. The rest of the loop was uneventful. Printer room, kitchenette, dead plants by the stairwell. When I circled back past conference room B a second time, I glanced in on instinct. Nothing, just empty chairs. No reflection this time. Maybe the angle had changed. Maybe I'd imagined it. Still, I felt unsettled. That lingering, subtle kind of unease, like when you dream about being chased, but can't remember by what. I packed up and left 10 minutes later. Now here's where it gets worse. The next morning, there was a minor issue with one of the time card uploads. Someone claimed they clocked in on-site, but their badge log said otherwise. Since I was one of the admins for building access, my manager asked if I could pull the security footage from the 9th floor overnight. Simple enough. So I logged in, skimmed through the footage from the previous evening, and I saw myself at 9:47 p.m., walking past conference room B in my socks, arms crossed, my reflection in the glass right on cue. Only, it wasn't my reflection. It was someone inside the room, standing, still, pressed up against the glass from the inside, just inches from where I passed, perfectly still, facing me, head slightly tilted. I froze. There was no motion, no movement after I passed. But for 1 second, one clear second, you can see me looking toward the glass, and them looking back. I scrubbed the footage back and forth at least a dozen times. There was no trick of the light, no weird glare. It wasn't me. It wasn't a reflection, and they were never there again. I checked the footage for the whole night before and after. The figure never left the room, never entered it either. It just appeared for that one moment. I thought about calling building security, the police even, but what would I say? Hey, a shadowy figure appeared for 5 seconds and vanished. No break-in, no alarms, just spooky glass stuff. No, instead I saved the footage. Quietly, just a clip, just in case. I haven't worked late since, and I never, ever walk past conference room B unless the lights are on. Because I know what I saw, and what's worse, I know it saw me too.